Throughout the Industrial Revolution, people's lives changed for the better because rural and urban society improved sanitation, education, and more people became wealthy. During the Industrial Revolution, which was between the 1700s and the early 1800s, great change took place in the lives and work of people in several parts of the world, including London, New York, and various other big cities around the world.
Many parents were willing to allow their children to work in these new textile factories because they needed the extra money for their farmland. Factory owners didn't care much for the safety of their employees. If on an occasion a girl got pulled into a loom by her hair, they wouldn't lift a finger to save her.
Children were brutally abused in factories they worked in. If they worked too slow, they were hit with a strap to keep them working. Children were waterboarded in a water cistern if they became too sleepy and went to sleep on the job. Children were also punished if they came to work late or talked to the other children. Children who ran away from factories could have been sent to prison. Children who were considered potential runaways were placed in irons. They would also be strapped to a metal ball, forbidding them from walking fast. Weights were attached to their neck if they did not work fast or efficiently enough.
Urbanization is the movement of population from rural to urban areas and the resulting increased proportion of a population that resides in urban rather than rural places.
An urban area such as London is defined by 400 persons per square kilometer. 75% of the male population engages in non-agricultural occupations. Metropolises are cities with populations of more than 1 million.
Many improvements came from the Industrial Revolution, such as goods were produced more cheaply, there were greater job opportunities, there was an increase in wealth and in the general quality of life. New inventions and innovations occurred, information spread, making the world closer together throughout transportation, and it also spurred the rise of the large cities such as London and New York.
The Industrial Revolution created an enormous increase in production of many kinds of goods. Some of this increase in production resulted from the introduction of power-driven machinery and the development of factory organization. Before the revolution, manufacturing was done by hand or simple machines. Most people worked at home in rural areas. Few worked in shops in towns as part of associations called guilds.
The Industrial Revolution eventually took manufacturing out of the home and workshop. Power-driven machines replaced handwork, and factories developed as the best way for bringing together the machines and the workers to operate them.